Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abigail Lang and I like to make test prep videos to help you do well on your AP exams, ACT, and PSAT. So in today's video, I'm going to help you guys get a perfect score on the PSAT, or close to one at least. I was privileged to take the PSAT in October of 2022, and I walked away with a 1520 out of 1520, which is a perfect score. And the PSAT is such a crucial test for juniors because although it seems like a simple thing, doing well on the PSAT can earn you thousands of dollars in scholarships and a National Merit Scholarship at a college of your choice, which is why it is so important to do well on the PSAT. And luckily for you, it's actually a pretty easy test to crack. So today I'm going to go through how I studied for it and some strategies that you can use during the study process and during the test so that you can maximize your chances of getting a good score. Because this test really is not that hard to crack. You just have to put in a little bit of work and know the right thing to do on test day, and you can do really well on it. So the first thing that you need to do to get a perfect score on the PSAT, and what helped me the most, was time management. If you've already taken an ACT or pre-ACT or SAT, you know that time management is a huge thing, and you definitely have a leg up over the other people taking the PSAT. So the important thing about the PSAT is that there are 3 sections and they each have unique times. So first you have the reading section, which I believe is 60 minutes. And then you have the writing and language section, which is like correcting grammar mistakes and choosing the right vocabulary words. And I think that you have 35 minutes for that. And then finally you have the math section, which has 70 minutes for 48 questions. So time management is going to be really important on this test, because if you are a really smart person but you don't know how to manage your time, you'll miss out on answering questions if you run out of time, and you could do just as poorly as someone who hasn't studied, which is why you must nail down the time management. And this ties into the next thing I want to emphasize, and this is key to doing well on really any standardized tests like this. It's practice tests. You want to do them in a timed setting so that you can really simulate what it's going to be like to have to answer all those problems in time on test day. And you can get a prep book to do this. So this is a Princeton Review book, Cracking the PSAT, and these come with not only like explanations of all of the concepts that you need to know, but also full practice tests. And number one thing to do when you're starting, just start by taking a timed practice test. You don't have to go right into concepts right away because that's going to be a waste of your time. Time management isn't just important when you're taking the exam, but it's also most important when you're studying for the exam. Because you're a junior and you have limited time. You're busy juggling a million different things. I know because I've been there. And if you're inefficient with your studying, you're just wasting so much time. And you're missing out on the opportunity to maximize your score if you're not really studying in the right way. So you want to start with a practice test, always. Sit down, do a full-length practice test. You can even find them on Google. I'm pretty sure the College Board has released PSAT practice tests that you can even print off of their website. I'll put the links down below for all the things that I mentioned so that you guys can find them and print them. And really all it takes is just a printer or a prep book, get your test printed out and work through it. Then after you take the test, what you want to do is go through and grade it yourself, see what you missed, and in math especially, this is really important. You want to take note of if you keep missing problems on a certain concept or topic area. So like if it's geometry, if it's simple algebra, or like if there's a certain type of equation, or if it's word problems that trip you up, you need to take note of that. Because when you're studying, you don't want to be studying everything. The truth of the matter is, I know that you want to study everything because you're probably a perfectionist if you're watching this video, but a lot of the time you will run out of time. So you need to just focus on really hitting what you're weak at, first of all, and then if you have extra time, you can go back and review the other concepts that you kind of know well, but aren't really that bad. So this really helped me. The first thing I did when I was studying was take a practice test, and then I noted what I was weak on, and then I drilled those concepts down. I'm 99% sure that Khan Academy has a PSAT prep course that you can go through, and they will give you practice problems that you can use to simulate test day concepts, especially in math. I believe that they have a lot of different math concepts by section where you can just take practice quizzes to see how you're doing. That helps a lot. So then the next thing that I would do, if you have the time, is go through an entire prep book. That's what I've done for every single AP exam I've taken. And the one AP exam I didn't go through an entire prep book for, I got a 4 on. But every other AP exam, I would buy a prep book and literally go through the entire thing, and I would always get a 5. And it's the same with the ACT or a PSAT. I got a 35 on my ACT for reference as a freshman. And in 7th grade, what I did was I actually took the ACT back then too, and I got a prep book and I worked my way through the entire thing as a 7th grader. Now keep in mind, I barely knew any of the concepts that were on the ACT because I was literally in 7th grade. But just going through the prep book helped me score a 31 as a 7th grader. So these prep books really do work. This is a great prep book. The Princeton Review always has really trustworthy prep books that you can use. So the way the book works is they actually will go through math concepts, right? Or English concepts, and you just read the little blurbs about how to do the questions, or they'll give you example math problems, and then as you work your way through the lesson, you'll reach the end, and then they'll give you drills that you can do, like little worksheets that you can fill in to just do practice problem after practice problem, and those help a lot. You have to be doing the practice problems because they show you if you've really mastered the concept or not. I made my way through the entire PSAT prep book, and I even went out and I printed extra practice tests as well. As you can see here, I have my bubble sheets. And when I took the PSAT on test day, I felt fully prepared because I had done so many simulations, I just knew what to expect. Now I'll go into tips for the reading section first of all. The reading section is just like the reading section on an SAT or ACT. You really have to be reading fast, and you have to get out of the habit of adding your own context to things. That's my number 1 tip. You want to make sure that every single answer you choose is explicitly backed by something in the text. Never, ever choose an answer that you just feel is right, but can't back up with something from the text. Think about it this way. In these tests, they have to have some way to verify that they're actually testing students' reading comprehension skills. There is a reason why the correct answer to every problem is correct. It's not just arbitrary. There's actually a proven reason that the test writers have for why answer A is correct over answer B. The test writers actually got together and discussed why one answer was better than the other and what concept that the problem was trying to teach. So if you really think about it that way, then you realize there's always a correct answer. And I know sometimes you can be between 2 answers on a reading problem, and that stinks because I've been there before, but try to choose the one with the most justification from the text directly, and you have a way better chance of getting it right. Second off, as I said, time management is huge. Really do the practice tests and see if you're doing fine on timing. If you're doing fine on timing, then don't worry about it too much. Just make sure that you're well rested on test day, because being well rested can make a huge difference in how fast you can read through the texts and how fast you can actually comprehend what's going on and answer the questions. And your gut instincts with problems tend to be a lot more accurate when you're well rested, because when you're groggy, sometimes things are just jumbled up in your mind and you kind of come to conclusions that are just incorrect because you're tired. So make sure to get a lot of sleep. Now on to the writing section, the one where you're going to be fixing grammar mistakes. I love this section because it is so easy to improve your score on it. All you have to do is know the rules for commas. That is huge. Definitely know what a comma sandwich is. It's like when you have one thing set off by 2 commas, and you want to be able to remove the chunk of text in between the 2 commas, and the sentence should still make sense. Definitely know what that is. Go look it up. It'll help you a lot because that's always tested on the PSAT. Generally, just make sure that you know the rules of grammar that they're going to test, because they test the same ones over and over and over. And if you know the rules, then it's just a free point frenzy because you know for sure that your answer is correct on every single one. That will help you tremendously in getting a perfect score. And that's why I say definitely take the practice tests, because you'll see the same rules and concepts pop up over and over and over again, and eventually your mind will just automatically know what the right answer is to pick. So finally, another rule for the grammar/writing section is go with the most concise answer 99% of the time. A lot of the time, just like on the ACT, you will find that the section is asking you, like when they ask you, what change should I make to this sentence? Usually choose the most concise one. I don't exactly know why they're so focused on being concise, but that is just an overarching principle in all of the writing sections on the ACT, PSAT, SAT, pre-ACT. Always choose the most concise one. Don't choose the wordy ones that try to sound smart. I promise you will get counted off. I cannot remember a single question where the really wordy, convoluted answer ended up being the right one. Just don't do it. Don't fall for the trap. I know it would seem like choosing the smart aleck answer would be the right thing, but they actually just want to see that you can communicate an idea concisely. So choose the concise option if you ever have one of those, like replace the sentence or what change should be used. And with the vocabulary questions, I think they might be in both the writing and reading sections. Just really use your context clues. Words can have multiple meanings sometimes, but choose the one that's most directly related to the text that they give you, as always. Now with the math, as I said, taking practice tests is huge. Use the Khan Academy practice quizzes, because on a concept by concept basis, they have quizzes that you can do to see how well you're doing on each individual standard of the PSAT. And with the math, what you really want to do is just drill the practice tests. I don't know how many times I can repeat it. You have to know the formulas, and doing the practice tests will really help you drill down any concepts that you need to do, because repetition is the #1 way to get good at anything. And those are actually all the tips that I have for the PSAT, because it's a really, really easy test to crack. As long as you go through a practice book, do practice tests, practice time management, and be sure to always choose the answers that are backed up by the text on the reading sections and the most concise ones on the writing sections, you will experience a huge boost in your score. Now, you may not get a perfect if you're just cramming like overnight, but you're definitely going to get a way better score than you would have had you not watched this video. So I hope that this video was able to help you, and if you have any questions about anything, leave them in the comments and I'll go through some time and answer your questions. As I said, all resources will definitely be linked in the description. And if you want more test prep videos, I'm actually going to be making a ton of AP videos in the upcoming months. Hit the subscribe button and I will help you guys get 5s and good scores on your exams. And I cannot wait to make an ACT video for you guys too, because that's also something that I have a lot of knowledge on that I can help you on. So I hope that you have a great week and thank you for watching.